bookworms, welcome back to my channel and to another retro review where I review classic novels. And this time I am proud to announce that I'm reviewing The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins, because this means that I finally finished reading this book. If you've been following me on Instagram, if not, you should, then you've probably seen photos featuring this book in them since like, what, a year? This is how long it took me to finish it. But let's start at the beginning. So The Woman in White was written and takes place in the 19th century, and it starts out with a young man who gets a job teaching two sisters drawing, but before he gets to their house in the country, he encounters this strange woman dressed in white and learns that she actually just escaped an insane asylum, and he helps her escape her captors, the people who work there who chase her. But he does that not before learning from her that she has some connections to the same house that he's heading to. This turns to a classic Gothic novel with mysterious characters, powerful villainous men who trap helpless women, dark secrets from the past, love, murder, thrilling escape plans. And it took me about a year to finish it. Now you probably wonder, how can something that sounds so fascinating and thrilling isn't this 1 week page turner? Here's the thing. As long as the plot progressed and things were happening, the book was fascinating. These moments were real page turners. But as you can probably imagine, these were only a small part of the book. This is an epistolary novel, like Dracula, for example, that I also reviewed, which means that the book in its entirety is written through people's testimonies, letters, and diaries, and I just found that some of the characters told the story better than others. Basically, I think it just comes down to how well you can handle Victorian literature, because if I didn't know that this book was actually written in the 19th century, I would have thought it was a modern parody of it just because of how cliché Victorian it is. From the long paragraphs describing exactly what everybody ate and how everyone was dressed, to the pages of people pouring their hearts out because the woman they fell in love with after meeting her 10 minutes ago is marrying another man. You know you decide if you can handle it or not. I personally have no patience for romantic babble, but I am working on it. After all, I have tons of Victorian novels in my TBR. Also, if you are a hardcore feminist who refuses to read of any mistreatment of women, despite whether they are accurate to the time or not, maybe you shouldn't read this book. Look, I'm a feminist, I believe in equality between all genders, but come on, we're all victims of our times in one way or another. I can't really blame Wilkie Collins for portraying women the way he did. Not only that this was the way that women were encouraged to act at those times, but also women as helpless victims were a staple of the genre. Almost every single female character in the book, other than a maid or two, is heavily stereotyped. One is a hysterical woman deemed crazy. Another is a delicate flower who is very nice but pretty useless. Another is a super submissive wife who deems it an honor to be her husband's doormat. And probably my favorite character in the book was a rather tragic one, because she is cool and smart and she's kick-ass and she absolutely hates the fact that she's a woman. Such a shame. I wish I could have told her that women can be both feminine and kick-ass at the same time. But yeah, the bottom line here is that this really didn't bother me because this is the genre and those are the times. Not to mention that this book does focus mostly on women, so I suppose that's a good point. Also, just to mention that despite not being the main villain, this book has the most disgusting and obnoxious character I've ever read. And if you have read The Woman in White, write it in the comment section which character you think that I'm referring to that I hated so much. So that's it, basically. This was the single most Victorian thing I have ever read. It's a classic Gothic novel with a really interesting premise that leads you to some unexpected places, but at times it really drags. The book really has its ups and downs when it comes to pacing, and some people will be okay with it, and others will find it tedious. By the way, since I'm here, I also want to mention that I found the ending very underwhelming. Like, imagine an entire book building toward like a face-off between the hero and a big boss, and just as they're about to have their final battle, the villain just says, okay, you know, you win, I give up. Something like that. And that was my review of The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins. Guys, thank you very much for watching this retro review. I really hope you like it. If you did, please don't forget to click the like button to show your support. Also subscribe to my channel if you dare, or the Woman in White will come to you. Well, actually, she's not a ghost. She's not even a villain. Whatever. Anyway, guys, if you do want to support my channel, write down something in the comment section, preferably what is your favorite Victorian novel? Do you even like Victorian novels, or you've just given up on the entire 19th century? So guys, again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.